Welcome back to our two-part series on Introduction to Using VEMA Trader. In the last video, we were looking at how to set up trades and how VEMA is going to automate our position sizing for us. In this video, we'll be looking at what to journal and how to analyze your data after you have placed a few trades to identify where you're going well and what you need to change. Journaling is absolutely ridiculously crazy important. I cannot put enough emphasis on that for you. Looking at the win rates of customers using VEMA Trader, it is the people who are journaling. They are most definitely the ones that are not only winning their trades, but improving and getting better results over time. To that end, VEMA has a feature that turns on force journaling. This does not let you place a trade unless you have set up a journal. Now, this is not enabled by default though. So to enable it, let's come up to the top right-hand corner into the hamburger menu and go to Settings. And go to My Account and come to the Settings tab. Here we can set a few defaults in the way VEMA is going to work. My default exchange is OKX. My trade plan says that my minimum risk to reward should be 3-to-1. This will auto-populate the risk management section's risk reward field. And I'm now going to turn on mandatory journaling on trade setup and click on Save Changes. So now I will not be able to place a trade in VEMA without actually journaling. So now let's go up to the Start Charting screen and let's set up a new trade. What have we had happen here? Looking at good old Bitcoin again, we can see that recently price has broken through what was support and is now turning, possibly looks like it's turning into resistance with a lovely big wick on that candle. So for the sake of this example, let's go ahead and set up a downtrend trigger and just pretend that this is wonderfully perfect for this technical analysis. Next, we're going to come and add in a setup, and I'll zoom in a little bit so we can see something here. I'm going to use a short direction and my strategy will be a bounce strategy. This part here says that price will come up, hit my trigger, and I'm looking for price to reject off it and then fall down. We could also use this for an uptrend on a long so that price would have to bounce off support, or an uptrend. I'll move my take profit somewhere, just put it above resistance, and I'll put one take profit down here a little lower. You know what? I'm also going to add a condition onto this one. You'll notice that they're the same as the break and retest and the cross ones. So I can add a distance to confirm here. This one here saying price has to come up, hit the downtrend, and then I want to see some bearish action of 0.8%. This means that we need to see price come up, hit our alpha trigger, and get rejected with some bearish action, giving us higher confidence that this trend line is being held and we can expect price to continue on further. Take profit looks a little close, so let's put it lower just for the sake of this. You'll notice there is a big red light next to the journal now, which wasn't there before, and we can't add this trade. It's no longer letting us do that because we have turned on forced journaling. How am I feeling today? I am giving a demo and talking about VEMA Trader. That's always fun, so very happy. How confident am I that this is going to happen? Well, I've had a pretty big rejection wick happening here, so I'm pretty good, but if I have a look at this and go, I've got a 10 out of 10 trade, I'm thinking, uh-oh, that's a bit strange. So I use this confidence meter as a gauge of how am I feeling about this trade. If I'm super confident, then I'm telling myself I need to be looking more at this because there's always going to be reasons that make me not want to take a trade. But I want to see more of the ones that make me want to take the trade. And so on that note, I want to add in a journal here that tells me what are those things that I was thinking at the time when I placed the trade. Because when you look at a setup in future, of course you'll see all the things you should have seen before. Of course you'll notice that resistance. Of course you'll look left further and see that there was obviously a downtrend there. But at the time, you didn't see it. And so put your notes in here, be very clear as to what you're looking at and why you're thinking this is a good trade. Now, while you can type it all out, it can be nicer to just speak out loud sometimes. So I like to zoom the chart out a little bit and then just press the record button and talk myself through it. Price has broken through support level that was at 29,600. Price has pretty clearly rejected off the support now turned resistance. I'm looking at a downtrend forming on the alpha. I want to see price come hit the alpha and see some bearish action really pushing price away from it for me to confirm that this downtrend is going to continue. With that, I can then add some tags into my trade as well. Now, VEMA is going to be tagging this with 18 different data points automatically. We pull out as much data as we can from the setup. Were you paper trading, live trading? What direction were you trading? Which strategy was it? Which conditions were you using? What was the risk reward used? But also we're looking at things like what time of day were you charting? What day of the week did the trade happen on? What else can we see from the risk management? What type of stop loss were you using? Anything that we can possibly pull out of the setup details for you, VEMA is tagging for you. But what it doesn't know about is what you were looking for on your trade. So I was looking here at resistance. I'm looking at a downtrend. And you know what? I'm also using an RSI indicator on my chart, so I shall go ahead and add an RSI. You can see I haven't used RSI on this before, but you can just go and add a new tag and add a new one. Add as many as you would like. On that note, I have now filled out my journal and I can press the add button. And I can now press submit as well, so we can send this trade off to be monitored. We now have a new bounce strategy that is in the monitoring state. But here's a break and retest one we set up from yesterday. It hasn't actually entered yet, so let's go have a look at it. We can click on this trade. This will take us onto the chart. We can then zoom in and have a look see at what we were looking at. So there was our ascending triangle that we saw at the time. We can see we have this lovely created line showing when we set up the trade. This was a break and retest trade. And so that visual line was coming from down here-ish at the time. It went up and then down and gave us a break and a retest. You'll see here sometimes once you've got the break already happened, it can look a bit funky. That's because it shows you this is where price needs to come next. So it says it needs to come up and break. We've already had the break. We can see that happened here. That happened at that particular time. That was the candle we got the break signal on. So now we're waiting for price to come down, give us the retest before it goes back up and shows that bullish action that gets us that entry. So what we can do is come to our journal area here where we would have left ourselves a proper note, but we didn't yesterday because we weren't talking about journaling. Now that we're talking about journaling, we know we should always do it in every single trade. Let's leave a comment here. We've got the break. Got the break. Hooray. Waiting for the retest. The rest. Waiting for the retest. When we click on the comment, the send button here, that will save the comment into VEMA's database. It'll also go ahead and add a new screenshot in so we can track what we were thinking along the full life cycle of a trade. We're also welcome to go ahead and add any new drawings we'd like. If I add a big gigantic smiley face, then I go back to my dashboard and I come back into the trade later on, those same drawings will all be there for us waiting. It's got to get squished, zoom in, and now we've got that smiley face there. So any extra analysis you would like to add onto your trade while it is in progress, after you have set it up, go for it. It's all going to be saved onto the chart for you. Now it's been a few weeks, you have been trading with VEMA for a while, you've got a trade history, and it's time to analyze your data, find what's working for you and what's not. To do that, we come along the top nav bar of VEMA and we will click on the Analyze button. This will take us to our Analyze Performance area where we can create analysis cards using all of those tags that we have, that VEMA's been auto using, and also our own ones to really dig in and find what's working for us and what's not. So I've got some pre-set up here on this account. We can look at this one and see all the winners, put these at the top, make us feel good. And then we can pay attention to all of our losses. Now, the columns on the cards are very, very handy for you. The easiest one to look at is the expected value. This one says, if you were to continue doing what you're doing here, can you expect to win, or are you expecting to lose money when you do this? So when the winners, the expected value is 1. Yes, that would be profitable. We would expect that to be profitable because they're all winners. Looking at the losses, it says, no, you're not very profitable with those. So on these two cards, that's not the most amazing column to look at, but it is super handy when digging down into your particular tags. Comparing on this account, my performance on the cross strategy versus the break and retest strategy. This one very simply tells me, Richard, when you're using the cross strategy on this account, you are not profitable. But when you're using the break and retest strategy, you are profitable. Very quickly, we can see, is this working for me or is it not working for me? Moving along, we can see the win rate and the average achieved risk to reward. This also takes fees into account as well. And then we can see the total P&L we've had on our account from this particular collection of trades. So this is a wonderful example to show you that you don't need to be winning all of the time in trading. In fact, it's highly likely you're probably not going to win all the time in trading. On the winners here, we can see we have a 41% account growth over 17 trades. And looking at the losses, we can see we've got a loss of 37% with that happening across 38 trades. So on this account, we have had more losing trades than we have had winning trades. But when we lose a little, and when we win a lot. That is the beauty of risk management and having a really solid risk reward and a trade plan. And thanks to VEMA Trader, that is really easy to do. Looking down at a few more examples, we can see comparing how we trade on Tuesdays versus Wednesdays. You could add any day of the week here. So whatever's happening on Tuesday is working for me, but Richard, stop trading on Wednesdays, please. We can see how well we are trading in the Asia session of trading versus the New York session of trading. An amazing thing to use the VEMA journal for is for tracking your bad habits. Pay attention to your losses and figure out what you're doing wrong when you lose and see how often you're doing that. A problem I used to have a lot was moving my stop loss too early. So whenever I move my stop loss too early, am I profitable? No. Is it costing me money? Yes. And how often are you doing that? Oh, wow, I'm doing that 5 times over so many trades. That's really interesting. I need to stop moving my stop loss too early. I need to look for something else to happen first. Oh, I forgot to look left. How often am I forgetting to look left? Wow, look at that. That was a very obvious downtrend and I was trying to go long on it. That was counter trend trading. Really pay attention and analyze your losses to find what you're doing wrong so that you can be very conscious of them and then start to look for those things when you're setting up your trades and journaling. I am not counter trend trading. I am looking left far enough. Another thing we can do is add our own analysis cards. In the top right hand corner, I'll click on add analysis. And in here, I like to trade triangles. So I'm going to look for ascending triangles. And I'm going to type it properly too. Looking through all of the tags, I can find my ascending triangle tag when I use it. There we go. There's the one that I've added. Now I can also look in here and see every single tag that I have used on this account. And I can also see every single tag that VEMA has been adding in there. Was it paper trading or live trading? What conditions was I using? Or how confident was I on those trades? What day of the week did I trade on? What direction did I trade? Was exchange? What hour of day? There's a lot of stuff in here and I encourage you to explore through it and find out more of the tags that VEMA has on offer for you. You can add a combination. I could say, show me all of my ascending triangles where I am not playing on the 4-hour resistance, and it will really narrow it down even further. But we'll keep this one pretty high for now and look at the ascending triangle. Click on save, and that'll add that one to the top. So when I'm trading ascending triangles, yes, it is profitable, but ever so slightly. What does this tell me? It's got a win rate of 45% and the risk reward could probably use some improvement on there. In fact, we can even see ascending triangles has got 11 trades and it is the predominant amount of my winning trades. Interesting stuff. I highly recommend that you pay attention to your losses and analyze where you're going wrong on your losses. Do the same thing for your winners. Analyze your winners and see, is there a way you could have gotten even better entry? Did you have your stop losses too close to entry? Did you have your take profits too close? Could you have put them further away? Make your winners really win big and really pay attention to your losses. So I'm going to click on this losses only area here, which will bring up all of the losses that I've done. And let's go check out this Bitcoin strategy here. What were we looking at on this trade? Over on the left-hand side, we have the position. Yes, we can see this was a loss. We could come and look into the setup details and we can see that it was a cross on Bravo, which is this lovely downtrend here. And we can see where the entry happened. We were waiting for a candle close. We had the entry. Our take profit was pretty high up there, but price came down and hit our stop loss. Bugger. Well then, what was I thinking looking at this trade at the time? To do that, we can come and look at the journal. The journal in VEMA Trader is fantastic. It tracks every single thing that VEMA ever does. There's my initial journal entry showing what I was thinking. VEMA has entered the position, and we've also hit the stop loss. If you have multiple take profits, then the journal will show you take profit 1 was hit, take profit 2 was hit, you moved your stop loss. It's a full log of everything that VEMA has ever done to your trade. And we can always come and add our own comment onto the trade, as we saw before, but we can also come and add our own tags onto this trade. So I'm analyzing my losses, I'm looking for what happened, and what did I do? You know what, this one was just a fake out. So I can go ahead and add that. Faked out. Now I can go and make a new analysis card inside of my analysis section to see how often I get faked out. There's a run through on how to use journaling and tagging inside of VEMA Trader to identify where you're doing well and where you can improve. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you find it very handy. If you have any questions, please always feel free to get in touch with us, support@vematrader.com, or jump onto our Discord. We love hearing from our customers, and we absolutely love hearing the extra feature ideas that you'd love added into VEMA Trader. Over on the top nav bar, we have got the support link. Click on this one. It'll take you to our support site where we have getting started guides, tutorials on every single feature of VEMA Trader, a few FAQs, the roadmap talking about what features will be coming out soon. If you have your own feature ideas, you can submit them here. Look at what other people have been requesting and vote for those as well. Every few months, the VEMA team gets together, goes through the feature ideas, prioritizes what we're going to work on based on what our customers are asking for and what people are voting for. So this really does have an impact on what we'll be working on next. Finally, we have our Discord channel where you can come and ask us questions. The team is all in here, and we'd love to hear from you. Righto, that's it from me for now. My name is Richard Morwood. It has been an absolute pleasure to run you through how to use VEMA Trader. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Happy trading.